I have students from CCSU, from Saudi Arabia, and from other nations recorded, confessed, and demonstrated that they had involvements with federal crimes, with Justice Department clicks, Washington D.C. tied trade center clicks from on off CCSU. These are also involved already with a whole bunch of federal crimes with fake news, where they have the right to do fake news if they do it certain ways, but they're doing it criminally and they have been doing it. Then they hide that. That's what's used to keep criminally foreign influences. Now, these are crime acts rules with child sex offenders as people crimes with the FBI, with the investigators of the Trade Center attack, with judges involved with them criminally, a whole bunch of nations involved with them criminally, like Russia and Russians against Russians, and on off CCSU, federal criminal uses of them. A whole bunch of people with a detective Samuda who pretended he arrested me, pretended me, and they pretend kids to fake locations through time. A whole bunch of people with the name Alicia associated with New York City and on off CCSU, on off Trinity College with houses and fire department families involved with Russian, American, and all kinds of medical corruption, a whole bunch of nations with database crimes, with crimes with other people's names, with value treatment, crime max rolls, natures of identity theft, bonded, fake news, crime acts where they steal people's identities to fake conversations, and then they can pretend not to realize that they're involved with federal crimes against them before that. In other words, there's sequence shifting too. These are inside outside of courts predators criminally using the databases originally and still. We have no leadership that's not criminally foreign influence states and areas, campuses, because for the interbranch federal evidence of crimes, keeping them needing to hide lie progressions, needing to hide their actually recorded natures, right to spots. Now, a whole bunch of locations on off the campuses have connections again, and that they're off the record, but these are not the ones that you have to know about by being whatever title and stuff like that, and then you're going to be debriefed or whatever. These are off the record. Since before our founders were born, they had the identity of the relationship to the ground as a negative value nature relationship to nature's self as nature. It's going to keep demonstrating negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures designed to be blamed on other things other than themselves, and engineered having that self value for a breaching, for a perpetual breaching organized crime method, because roles defending styles of logic like that and as that can't defend ourselves at the same time. So a whole bunch of nations have psychology with mental diagnosis and but see, what everyone misses is the fact cheating nature racket rolls with that. They're using this against sequence trill. They're forging names, switching names, and preventing mandated law. And then they're making overall allegations against people criminally. And these are people associated with the various natures of courts already criminally involved with them. A whole bunch of natures of courts are crime methods recorded and confessed. New Britain Superior Court is crime methods with judges that forge names and switch names, crime acts rolls. And then they make confession. They have people make confessions and demonstrations of their federal crimes. And and then they use the time to pretend other. They pretend they're doing investigations on things that are actually recorded. So and use that to pretend things that are fake recorded. They did that with child sex offender principal note, with a whole bunch of people retired and standing with that court in the Britain Superior Court, with states attorneys and with private attorneys associated with them, retired and standing, involved with proven sex offenders with further natures of crimes together with them. In other words, the women judges, their motivations and roles with the principal sex offender were other than sex. Theirs were to hide their federal crimes with evidences, identity thefts, sequence shifts, the criminal uses of their Facebook pages of the courts for rape threats, and that was for sustained with the principal sex offender. And then they criminally pretend someone's I was harassing them, but by trying to counter the rape threats and the confessions, also of the sex offenders proven further tied to the campuses, and they forced that not told on first. then that principal child offender got caught anyway.